You always thought your problem was that people kept lying to you until tonight, when you finally see every lie at once. You're on your bed, phone in hand, scrolling through old chats like crime scenes. Messages that aged badly, promises that soured, smiling pictures that now feel like evidence. I'm fine. They weren't. I'd never do that to you. They did. You can trust me. You did. You whisper it to yourself in the dark. Why am I always surrounded by lies? The more you replay it, the more you feel like the universe has marked you some invisible sign on your back that says, this one won't notice until it's too late. Your chest tightens, your jaw locks. You tell yourself you'll never trust anyone again. That's when the lights go out, not just in your room, everywhere. Silence. Then, a soft glow. You open your eyes and you're standing in a huge, circular hole. The floor is a black mirror. Above you, lanterns hang in the air, each one lighting up a different person you know. Friends, family, partners, co-workers, people you've loved, people who've hurt you. Each one is wearing a mask. Some masks smile, some frown, some are blank. As they talk, the masks move, but their real faces are blurred behind them. A figure appears at your side. Not a stranger exactly, more like a version of you who's lived a little longer, with eyes that have finally stopped pretending. Welcome to the listening room, they say. This is where you finally hear the lies for what they are. You clench your fists. Good, you say. I want to know who was faking it. They tilt their head. Are you sure that's all you want to know? You don't answer. You just stare at the lanterns. The first one glows brighter, drawing you in. You see someone who swore they'd never leave. You remember their words, like they're carved into your bones. I'll always be here. But in the listening room, you hear what they actually meant underneath. I'll be here, as long as it doesn't cost me too much. Your stomach drops. That's not fair. You protest. They said always. Your guide shrugs. Some people lie because they don't know themselves. They promise with their mouth what their courage can't afford. You watch that person fade. They don't look evil. Just weak. Afraid. Another lantern catches your attention. This time, it's someone who constantly praised you. You're amazing. You're the best. I've never met anyone like you. It felt good then. It feels slimy now. In this room, you hear the real track. Behind their compliments. If I keep you happy, I can get what I want. You see how their eyes always flick to what you could do for them. How they vanish the moment you ask for something back. Some people lie as payment, your guide says. They spin words like candy to keep the benefits flowing. Your fists shake. So what? Everyone is manipulative. The guide looks at you. Keep watching. A third lantern bright. This time, you see a younger version of you, standing in front of a mirror. No one else is there. No one else is speaking. But you hear lie after lie filling the room. It wasn't that bad. I deserved it. If I change enough, they'll treat me right. I can fix them if I just love harder. The sound of your own voice hits harder than anything else you've heard. You turn away. Stop. You snap. I came here to see their lies, not mine. Your guide's gaze doesn't soften. That's the thing. You've been so busy cataloging who lied to you that you never noticed how often you lied for them. And to yourself, you hate how right it feels. Why? You whisper. Why would I lie to protect people who hurt me? Because sometimes, they say, it feels safer to rewrite the story than to admit you saw the signs and stayed anyway. The words sit in your chest like stones. Around the room, the lanterns begin to shift colors. Your guide explains quietly. Some lies are knives meant to cut and control. Some are shields meant to avoid conflict and keep things smooth. Some are costumes meant to impress and belong. And some are cages, stories you tell yourself so you don't have to change. You watch scenes replay. One person lying because they're terrified you'll abandon them if they show the truth. Another lying because they enjoy the power. Another saying whatever will make today easier. even if tomorrow explodes. For so long, the guide says, you put them all in the same box. Bad people. So you try to defend yourself by shutting down, pushing everyone away, or trying to expose every half-truth. You nod. What else was I supposed to do? They point to the center of the hall. A single lantern floats there, untouched. Inside it, you see yourself again, but older, steadier. This version of you looks at people without flinching, without blindly trusting, and without automatically assuming the worst. This is the you who learned to read patterns instead of promises. Your guide says, they don't need everyone to be honest. They just need to be honest with themselves about who they're dealing with. You watch as this future you navigates real life. When someone flatters them too hard, they smile, but they also notice if actions match words. When someone breaks a promise once, they pay attention. When it becomes a pattern, they adjust their trust, not their worth. When someone lies out of fear, they offer clarity without sacrificing their own boundaries. Most importantly, when they feel the urge to lie to themselves or others, they pause. They ask, what am I trying not to feel right now? The quickest way to stop drowning in lies is to stop drinking your own. You feel something loosen in your chest. So what do? You ask. Cut everyone off. Trust no one. The guide shakes their head. That's just another lie. If I never trust, I'll never get hurt. You get hurt anyway, just lonelier. They step closer. Here's the truth you need. You will always meet people who twist things. You cannot turn the world into a place where no one lies, but you can become someone who notices faster, walks away sooner, and refuses to participate in your own confusion. The hall begins to dim. The lanterns fade, one by one. Only yours remains. From now on, your guide says, your job is not to make everyone tell the truth. Your job is to tell the truth to yourself about what you see. Scenes flash before you, few situations where you choose differently. You hear someone say, I'll change, I promise. And instead of melting, you think, I'll believe it when I see it. You sense that familiar knot in your stomach when something feels off, and instead of overriding it, you respect it. You'll catch yourself saying, it's fine, when it's not. And this time you stop, inhale, and say what you actually mean. Your boundaries are where other people's lies stop and your reality begins. The listening room dissolves. You're back on your bed, phone still in your hand. Old messages still open, but they look different now. Like mysterious puzzles, but like proof. Proof of who people chose to be. Proof of who you chose to be around. You can't go back and demand honest versions of conversations that already happened, but you can decide what you'll tolerate tomorrow. If this story made you see the lies around you and inside you a little clearer, don't let that clarity fade. Tap, L-I-K-E. So you remember this the next time someone has words that match their actions. And subscribe to Future You Stories for more journeys that help you trust yourself in a world that doesn't. Always tell the truth. Because being surrounded by lies will always hurt. But being surrounded by lies while you ignore your own voice, that's the only part you can actually change.